Hello friends and welcome back. I hope you're all doing well by God's grace. Before to start the second and last part of Drama Story, if you haven't already, please take a moment to subscribe and hit that bell icon so you never miss an update. Let's start. Check the trust in Utah. She knows. He looks at it, eyes wide open, hands trembling. Because there's only one who could have left a message like that. And if that file arrives next, then everything, not just his reputation, not just his marriage, everything could go up in smoke. The courtroom is charged before the session even starts. There's tension in the air now. Something more intense than scandal, something more cutting than betrayal. It seems to be the razor's edge of something irrevocable. The gallery is packed. News persons, observers, even a couple of individuals Meri hasn't laid eyes on in years. And yet everyone's focus is on one thing, the Utah Trust. The judge does not hesitate. We proceed with today's witness and will take up testimony on newly admitted financial evidence. Mr. Garver, is your client ready? Kody doesn't answer. He nods slightly, jaws clenched, lips compressed into a pale line. His briefcase remains closed on the table as though he dreads what else it might contain. Erica West rises. Your Honor, the court will hear from a new witness, one who appeared late yesterday upon receipt of threats connected to this case to ensure their safety and the integrity of these proceedings. They will testify under subpoena. Everyone leans forward in their seats. Even Kody appears bewildered. Robyn turns to him, eyes wide from the rear hallway. A person enters slowly, hesitantly. It is Paige McCready, once personal accountant assistant to Kody and long-term bookkeeper for the Brown family's real estate reports. Nobody anticipated her. Not today. Perhaps not at all. She enters the witness stand, swearing on shaking hands. Miss McCready. Erica starts off. Please inform the court what you learned while working with Mr. Brown's accountants. Paige pauses. Her gaze lands on Meri, and they remain there for a very long moment. I discovered unusual transfers from Brown Family Holdings LLC to a second company, Wasik Asset Trust, located in Utah, with a hidden trustee name. Initially, I had no idea who owned it, but then I discovered a notarized instruction letter signed by Kody Brown. The instant the word trust is heard, the room changes. Because everyone recalls the note that Kody discovered yesterday, everyone knows this is what he was afraid of. Erica displays the document on screen. The letter is straightforward, one paragraph, but the signature is unmistakable. Kody deposited $820,000 into a Utah account in the name of a trust with Robyn Brown as future primary holder. No reference to Meri, no reference to the other wives, no joint disclosure, and 2 months prior to divorce documents ever being signed. The judge talks. Let me be clear. Mr. Brown, did you establish this trust prior to telling your wife of plans to divorce? Kody's voice is low. I didn't recall the dates. That's not what I was asking. I believed the trust was personal, individual. But now truth is no longer subjective. It's subjective of dates, signatures, and documented transactions. Paige isn't done. There's one more thing, she says quietly. A file from an internal email. I wasn't supposed to read it. Erica nods. Did you bring it with you? Paige gives it to her in printed form. The projector in the courtroom flashes on. There is one email. It's brief. From Kody to his financial advisor, Robyn can manage the Utah properties once Meri signs the documents. She won't complain. She never has. The date 2 weeks prior to when Meri was instructed to sign the sham divorce contract. The courtroom holds its breath. The gallery is like stone. Even Robyn has her hand in front of her mouth. Kody grumbles something under his breath. Meri turns to him at last, her eyes wide with incredulity. You set it up. You set it up before you even informed me. He opens his mouth but speaks not a word. The judge bangs the gavel. That will be all. I'm issuing a preliminary fraud investigation order. We will now recess for review and reconvene with closing arguments. But as everyone starts to stand, a disturbance arises from the rear of the room. A new voice. I have something else to say. Everyone turns. It's Janelle. She wasn't seen. She hadn't attended a single session until today. She moves down the center aisle. Between the shocked onlookers, between the press, she reaches the witness stand and fixes her gaze on the judge. "I want to testify." The judge blinks. "On what grounds?" Janelle picks up a tiny envelope. "I was going through a storage box that was marked to be stored. It was Kody's to give to Meri years ago, but Kody made me keep it without saying anything to her." Erica advances wearily. "Your Honor, we would like to hear what is inside." The judge motions her aunt. Inside the envelope, an original deed to one of the family homes. It's signed by Meri and Kody, but it includes a clause at the bottom. Scrolled in pen. Property title transfer pending divorce completion. The kicker, that transfer was never processed. The property was later sold without Meri's name on the sale. She was written off, literally. The betrayal isn't just emotional anymore. It's financial theft. Meri glares at Janelle. "You've had this all these years." Janelle is devastated. "I didn't know what it was. I discovered it, and when I found out, I had to bring it." Tears form in her eyes. "I was afraid of him too, Meri. I didn't want to believe he could do that to you. To us." Kody stands again. His eyes of fire. "This is crazy. You're all turning on me now because of a screw-up in the filing and some cash." The judge bangs the gavel. "Sit down, Mr. Brown, or be held in contempt." Kody is now coming apart. His voice grows louder. His chest is pounding. And Robyn, she refuses to glance at him. Robyn, she refuses to glance at him. The courtroom observes as the man who had everything under his control, wives, property, reputation, now sits bare, his kingdom based on phony filings and unstated coercion. Meri stands. She doesn't speak loudly, but her speech cuts more incisively than anything the judge can utter. "You could have just left me be, but you held on like a placeholder, a legal buffer while you danced money and played house. I was in mourning and you used my silence as a weapon." Kody's eyes bounce between her and Robyn, and for the first time, Robyn speaks without defending him. She glances at the judge. "I want to cooperate in every way." The judge glares with what precisely? Robyn's hands shake as she digs in her bag. She produces a flash drive. This contains every conversation, all the files, all the transfers he ever made with my login. "I saved it in case this ever came back to me." Meri's jaw falls open. Kody regards her as if she just shot him in the chest because the ultimate betrayal wasn't from Christine or Meri or Janelle. It was from Robyn. The judge appears stunned. "Mrs. Brown, do you have any idea of the legal ramifications here?" Robyn nods. "I do." She faces Kody. "I'm finished covering for you." The courtroom never weighed heavier. The air is heavy with something worse than accusation. Confirmation. Robyn's flash drive lies in the judge's hands like a live wire, dumping with potential. All lawyers know what's on it. Could break this case wide open or ruin the Brown family forever. Kody hasn't spoken in 10 minutes. He's not pacing. He's not shouting. He's just staring at nothing. A man undone by silence. And now by the one person he always believed would never turn on him. Robyn sits pale and frozen. Her betrayal didn't come with joy. It came with survival. Her whispered words to the judge still ring in the courtroom's ears. "I'm done protecting him." The judge looks up. "We are entering the contents of the drive into evidence. All legal parties will receive copies. Miss West, I'll allow your team to begin review. We'll reconvene in 1 hour." A flurry of activity explodes in the back hallway. Legal clerks, paralegals, technicians, and Meri. She remains seated, her eyes fixed rigidly ahead, calm, concentrated. But if you peered closely enough, you'd catch the faint trembling of her fingers. Not out of fear, but out of raw, worn determination. 1 hour elapses. The courtroom is once again filled. Nobody knows exactly what they'll witness, but they know it will be significant because for the first time, the story is not being framed by testimony. It's straight from Kody's own records. Erica West rises. "Your Honor, we've read the contents of the flash drive. We're ready to offer a compiled document, emails, spreadsheets, voice memos, and contract drafts." She flips the remote, and then the truth starts. The screen displays the first document, An email from Kody to his real estate attorney. Ensure the property deeds have Robyn's name alone on them. If Meri inquires, inform her the documents are being finalized. Hold off on it. She won't push. Whispers circulate in the crowd. Slide an Excel spreadsheet. Names, accounts, secret money transfers, dates that perfectly coincide with times Meri was deceived. Erica goes on, here you have a $95,000 transfer from the joint family account to a shell LLC. 5 days following Meri signing the bogus divorce document, the judge raises her eyebrow. That account was to be frozen until divorce. Erica nods. And yet, he transferred the money, then used it to purchase a property in Robyn's name without telling Meri. This is no longer a misunderstanding. It's a blueprint for manipulation. Slide 3. A voice memo. Kody quote is voice. Unfiltered. I need Robyn secured before Meri realizes what is going on. If Meri discovers the Utah filings stall her, give her something emotional. Letters, old photos, whatever. She responds to guilt more than facts. Meri's eyes closed. Dot. The courtroom is stunned. Dot. And then one final file, a scanned document handwritten. If the divorce is legally finalized, Meri is entitled to claim half of holdings dating back to the Flagstaff property acquisition. Solution. Delay filing. Emotional manipulation works. She's still attached. Dot. Signed with flair.
Kody V. Brown.
You can sense the mood change not only in the gallery, but even in the judge. Disbelief has vanished. In its stead disgust, Erica addresses the bench directly. Your Honor, we now proceed to seek judicial recognition of fraudulent withholding, coercion, and misrepresentation of property. We also seek punitive damages and immediate referral for criminal investigation. The judge doesn't blink. The court finds cause to go on. Mr. Brown, do you have anything to say? Kody stands slowly, but not with fire. Dot. With collapse. I didn't mean to hurt her, he says quietly. Dot. His voice is hollow. Empty. I thought I was defending what I had left. The judge looks at him. By weaponizing someone else's silence, by exploiting loopholes in the law and concealing money, Kody doesn't respond. Dot. Because there's nothing more to say. But just when everyone believes the worst is finished, Meri produces one final envelope. I have something to add. She speaks quietly. Dot. The judge inclines her head. Proceed. She passes it to Erica, who discloses its contents. A letter ripped, worn, but authentic. Dot. It is from 2015. It was written by Kody Meri. In case things don't pan out with Robyn, I may need you again.
Keep the name.
It's better that way. Don't make waves. The courtroom responds in real time. Dot. This wasn't betrayal. It was a backup plan, a backup marriage. Meri speaks quietly, but with 10 years of repressed anger.
You didn't love me.
You used me. You used my name, my silence, and my sorrow as a shield, while you constructed another. And once you had finished needing me, you forgot to release me. She gazes at Kody, but I'm releasing you now. The judge clears her throat. The court will reconvene in the morning for the hearing on damages and formal findings. In the meantime, all of the financial accounts related to Kody Brown and his related trusts will be frozen. This session is recessed, but before the gavel has fallen, a man strides into the courtroom. A U.S. Marshal. He moves up to the bench, speaks softly to the judge. Dot. She listens. Her expression changes, widens, narrows. Dot. She speaks into the microphone. Mr. Brown, stay seated. Kody glances around, bewildered. What's happening? The marshal advances. Kody William Brown, you are now subject to federal investigation on suspicion of wire fraud, tax evasion, and fraudulent misrepresentation. You aren't being arrested, but you're being served. A man hands him a sealed envelope. Dot. Robyn gasps. Dot. The last mass drops. The courtroom doesn't explode. It just observes quietly as the man who believed he ruled everything now looks at a notice with his own name typed in bold federal letters. Christine approaches Meri. That was everything. Meri nods. Dot. But then her eyes narrow beyond the crowd behind the reporters. A man in a gray suit who sat silently in the back. A man who gets up and leaves as soon as she sees him. Dot. She leans over to Erica. Did you see that man? Erica makes a face. What man? Meri looks at the now vacant space. Dot. She whispers. He's from TLC. The courtroom drains out slowly, but Meri doesn't budge. The face of the gray suit man disappearing out the side door as if he never existed will not fade from her mind. She remembers him once at a TLC holiday party years earlier. He wasn't talent. He wasn't production.
He was legal at the time.
She didn't question it. Now, she can't quit them. Dot. Erica approaches. You okay?
No.
Meri responds. Because I believe this goes beyond Kody. Erica arches an eyebrow. You believe TLC wasn't on it? Meri remains silent. She doesn't need to. The silence speaks volumes. Outside the courtroom, reporters mob. Headlines flash. Robyn gives no interviews. Kody swats cameras aside, but Meri strides right through them. Eyes fixed ahead. Purpose set. Dot. That evening in her hotel room, she clicks on an ancient laptop and starts scrolling through archived emails, contracts, show agreements, appearance waivers. None of it mattered then. The tell today, she discovers one, subject amendment to marital status clause pending legal update sent by TLC Legal Affairs. 2 days after the date, she signed the bogus divorce. She glances at the line in the email. As long as the appearance of separation is maintained, formal documentation is not critical at this time. Her breath hitches. Dot. She reaches for her phone. Erica, I found something. And if I'm right, they didn't just film the lie. They endorsed it. The next morning, court is in session, but the real trial has already shifted off the record. Dot. Kody sits stone-faced next to a federal attorney. Robyn avoids looking at anyone. The room's energy is different now, tainted by something more sinister than personal betrayal. It smells like corporate cover dash-up. Erica approaches the bench. Your Honor, prior to commencing, the plaintiff wants to proffer new evidence independent of damages regarding potential third-party complicity. The judge tightens her eyes.
Go on.
Erica waves the printed email in the air. We think the network that made the reality show with these parties knew the divorce was never completed and possibly instigated a false public narrative for ratings, money, and legal benefit. The courtroom doesn't respond initially. It's all shocked. This wasn't merely a family secret. This was staged on TV dishonesty written in silence. Meri advances. When I questioned why my legal name was nowhere to be found in the show's paperwork, they explained it was being corrected, that it was a branding issue. She hesitates. Her voice shakes but not cracks. They knew. They knew I was not legally divorced, and they taped us anyway, sold it anyway, used it anyway. Erica adds, we're filing a motion to subpoena all TLC internal communications relating to the Brown family's marital status, show narrative, and contract approvals between 2014 and 2022. The judge nods. Motion accepted. We'll continue with damages hearing while awaiting production compliance. Kody finally speaks. They didn't care about truth. They were interested in drama. He spits out the words. Not an admission, but a justification. Robyn whispers. You let them take advantage of us. They paid for the bills. He growls. They paid for that home. The cars. The platform. They wanted a narrative and I provided one. You provided them a falsehood. Meri interrupts. Now, everybody has an idea who the true director of this fraud could have been. Dot. In the hallway, the reporters are already creating new headlines. Did TLC have knowledge of the whimsical divorce? Reality show revealed to be scripted deceit. Federal subpoenas served in sister wives situation in private. Erica and Meri sit down with a civil lawyer. They talk about class action implications, fraud on the viewers, deceptive business practices, but Meri has other things on her mind. On all those hours she spent sitting through interviews, being asked to cry on demand, instructed to say it would all work out, on the editors who cut her footage in order to portray her as bitter, unstable, desperate. She was mourning a stage divorce for a reality TV storyline. That evening, she gets an anonymous message. An anonymous Dropbox link inside question mark a recording. Production meeting 2016. TLC executive voice sharp and distinct. If Meri discovers the divorce was not filed, shut it down. Smooth it over with Kody. Robyn can walk her through it. We need the Robyn marriage story to reach its climax during sweeps. She rewinds it. Again. And again. She calls Erica. We must include this in Discovery. It's more than Kody now. They played God with my life. This was never just a courtroom drama. It was televised control. And the real directors were never in the family. They were behind the cameras. The next day in court, Erica plays the audio. The judge listens. Face unreadable. When the tape ends, the judge leans forward. I'm referring this matter to the Attorney General for review of potential corporate liability and fraud. In the meantime, this court will freeze all show-related residual accounts tied to Kody Brown and Robyn Brown. Kody explodes. You're killing my name, my legacy. That show was my life. No, Meri says quietly. It was your lie. The judge bangs the gavel. We will adjourn for today. Tomorrow, closing statements and formal judgment. But as Meri exits, a woman waits outside. Blonde mid-30s sunglasses. Nervous Meri. Meri turns. I worked on the show. She continues. I have copies production notes. Raw footage. You weren't paranoid. You were edited to look broken. She hands Meri a flash drive. I quit when I understood they were covering for him, particularly after Vegas. Vegas? Meri asks. The woman inched closer. There was a second document, a trust amendment Kody attempted to have notarized there. It would have erased you legally, but you didn't sign on, so he pulled the plug. Meri sits there shocked. He attempted to wipe me out. The woman nods. That Vegas physician. It's true. And I believe TLC owns a copy. Meri's breath is stuck in her throat because this case isn't about what did happen. It's about what nearly did. The world is watching now. The courthouse is ringed by news vans, bloggers, documentarians. Some who once made money off the show. Others now excavating its downfall. What began as a family scandal has turned into a national accounting. Not merely about divorce. Not even merely about fraud, but about what happens when actual pain gets edited into entertainment. Inside the courtroom, there is tension in the air. No longer mere quiet. Now it's charged. Everyone feels like something's going to happen today. Something incendiary. The judge strides in fast. Business-like intent. Today we will receive final disclosures before closing arguments. Miss West, please. Erica rises. Your Honor, we are presenting new evidence. A flash drive with internal TLC footage and unedited production notes provided by a former employee under whistleblower protection. The gallery gasps. Robyn's eyes flash at Kody. You told me they didn't have anything. She hisses. He remains silent. Because he no longer knows. He's not running the script anymore. The tape starts rolling.
Raw.
Uncut. The first cut. A scene from season 9. The one in which Meri weeps on the porch as Kody comforts her. But in the raw recording, just as the director is about to yell action, you hear him say quietly to Meri, just look at him like you still want the marriage. It'll be good for sympathy metrics. Sympathy metrics, not healing, not truth, not closure. Sympathy metrics. The room stiffens. The next clip is worse. A producer approaches Kody and gives him a manila envelope saying, this is the Vegas doc. If she signs today, we move into the monogamy arc for next season. Kody then inquires, what if she doesn't sign? The response. Then play the long game. Guilt her. But don't rush too hard. We still want tension in season 10. What began as reality television now appears to be psychological warfare on film. The judge holds up her hand. Stop the tape. The screen goes black. Erica moves forward. The Vegas document is authentic. We now have a scanned copy. She puts it down on the evidence table. Dot. It quotes saying a complete amendment to the original family trust. The tone is frigid, technical, accurate. Upon voluntary signature by Meri Brown, irrevocable transfer of all community assets prior to 2010 shall be made to the specified marital unit of Kody Brown and Robyn Alice Brown. And in fine print at the bottom, drafted by Network Legal Counsel for TLC Studios Incorporated, a bomb just went off in the courtroom. Not only Kody's betrayal, now TLC is red DOS-handed. The judge's expression is inscrutable. She thumbs through the document methodically, page by page, until she puts it down and talks. I am issuing an immediate subpoena to the executive staff of TLC. This court has reason to believe corporate coercion, willful crossing of legal lines, and profit from exploitation of emotional damage. She gazes straight at Kody. Did you ever show this paper to Meri? He fixes on the desk. Hollow eyes.
Yes. And what did she say? She cried.
He replies. She asked why. And you didn't reply. She walked out. Kody answers. I never mentioned it again. The room is quiet. Dot. Meri doesn't sob. She doesn't blink. Dot. She simply speaks firm and smooth. I thought I was breaking down. I thought I was paranoid. I told myself I was being dramatic. Her voice cutting. But what happens is that they were writing my morning down. And at that moment, she is not only speaking for herself, she's speaking for every woman who ever questioned her own reality because someone else said it was just an act for show. Dot. The judge nods. We will enter the document into record. Civil charges against TLC will be filed pending discovery. Mr. Brown, your other show payments are frozen as of today. Kody reclines, hands trembling. Then another twist. Robyn stands up. I want to testify again, she says.
Alsters dot dramasters.
Bethany stares. The judge tilts her head. You already testified, Mrs. Brown. Not under oath, Robyn says. Not completely. The court permits it. Dot. She approaches the stand. Her heels sound like shots. Sworn in once more. She glances toward the judge, then at Meri, then at the audience. They lied to all of us, but to her in particular. Robyn whispers, shaking. They told me Meri was unstable, that she'd attempt to steal everything, that I needed to protect Kody and the family. She blots her eyes. They edited her crying and said she was manipulating the audience. I trusted them. I instructed Kody to keep things under wraps, to hold back on the divorce, because they told us it would sabotage the show's narrative. She looks at Kody now, and you let me. He doesn't look at her. The courtroom doesn't require further proof. The confession is in the quiet, in the embarrassment, in the failure of a narrative that had mastered them all. The judge speaks. This is no longer merely a family case. This is a case of media ethics, a case of legal manipulation, a case of psychological trauma. She stands up from the bench. This court will reconvene tomorrow, when judgment will be handed down. As the crowd starts to disperse, Meri remains rooted. There until her phone vibrates. A private message to no caller. I did, it says. You have no idea.
Call me.
I have contracts, footage, and emails they buried. I was a producer for seasons 4 through 11. They filmed Kody coercing Christine, too. I'm ready to go public. Meri reads the name. A woman she hasn't seen in years. Dot. Someone she trusted once, and who vanished overnight. Dot. She turns to Erica.
This isn't the end.
Erica looks at her. No, she says it's the beginning. But outside, a black SUV is waiting near the curb. A suited man from TLC headquarters steps out, flanked by 2 lawyers. Dot. He doesn't go into the courthouse. Dot. He just watches. Dot. Then opens his phone. Dot. And makes a call. We've got a problem. She's not backing down. It's the final day. Dot. What started as a private legal dispute has grown into a public reckoning, one that reached from courtroom benches to television boardrooms. Kody Brown does not walk in anymore with swagger. He walks today with his head down, his lawyer roster thin, his bank accounts frozen, his secrets revealed. Dot. But Meri, She walks in with steel in her spine. Dot. There are no reporters this time. Just silence. Everyone knows this is the verdict. The judgment. The ending to a story they believed they had figured out until now. The judge does not dilly-dally. This court has examined all the evidence, including financial reports, private messages, production participation, and under oath testimony. The conclusions are as follows. Meri does not flinch. She does not take a breath. Kody Brown intentionally withheld a lawful divorce filing for financial and personal benefit. He abused community property, practiced fraudulent conveyances, and perpetuated a false public account for financial gain. Kody sits and stares at the desk. He doesn't budge. Robyn Brown is found to have been involved in concealment, but fully cooperated and is excluded from punitive damages, but more investigation into her involvement with trust is in the works. Robyn blinks, a tear rolling down, but she doesn't protest. TLC Studios is currently under federal investigation for making money from knowingly contributing to the fraud on legal relationships and manipulation of viewers. The courtroom doesn't applaud. It doesn't gasp. It simply takes collective breath because this verdict isn't entertainment. It's justice. Dot. The judge looks to Meri. As for damages, this court grants Meri Brown $65 million in restitution and liquidated goods, including partial rights to future royalties on the show. She nods begrudgingly, not in triumph. In closure. Then the judge isn't finished. One more thing, she leans forward. The court determines that the emotional anguish suffered as a result of media coercion and family deception deserves public acknowledgement. With Meri Brown's agreement, her entire statement will be placed in public record. Meri stands. She makes her way to the middle, turns, and finally, she speaks not only to the courtroom, but to all onlooking. Some will say I could have known better, that I lingered too long, that I allowed it to happen. She hesitates. They're right. I did linger. I did believe. But the difference is I believed in love, in trust, in commitment. They trusted control. Her voice shatters, but she persists. I thought I was mourning a divorce for years. It turns out I was mourning the concept of me, the woman I was before cameras took heartbreak and made it into storylines. She addresses the press gallery. To viewers who trusted what they were seeing, I forgive you. You are watching an edited version of me for drama, not the woman who wept in actual silence, who signed phony documents believing they were liberty. And to the network that recorded it all, she doesn't blink. She looks directly through the camera. You sold my meltdown for viewership. You wrote my agony, but you overlooked one thing. She breathes. You overlooked that I was actual. The courtroom stands up at attention. Dot. Not in applause. Dot. Indifference. Dot. Because this isn't a triumph. It's a resurrection. Later that evening, Meri walks out of the courthouse. Cameras flash, but she doesn't stop. She's not giving interviews. Not yet. Dot. Christine meets her outside. No words, just a long, quiet embrace. Dot. Janelle joins them, slipping her hand into Meri.
Quarter. Dot.
And Robyn. Undefined. She stays behind. No one walks with Kody. Dot. He exits alone. Dot. Undefined. Silent. Undefined.
Gray.
A man no longer shielded by editing or guarded by fame. But just when we think the story can finally be closed, Erica calls Meri that night. There's something you should see. She sends her an email attachment. Inside ? Undefined, a copy of a leaked TLC executive memo, dated 6 weeks prior to the pretend divorce. Contingency plan if Meri Brown won't leave. Shift public narrative to emotional instability. Undefined. Use confessionals. Dine property. Creates sympathy for Robyn. Make sure Kody's redemption arc is not broken. The subject line undefined. If she won't leave, make her look like she already has. Meri looks at the screen. Dot. She shuts down the laptop. Dot. She knows what comes next. Dot. She books a flight. Dot. To New York. Because the morning after the verdict, TLC issues a statement. We are reviewing legal matters related to recent claims. We still stand by our programming. And then they make an announcement of a new spin-off, The Browns. After the storm, Meri is not included in the cast. Christine and Janelle have already said no. Robyn has quote T, but Meri undefined.
She's not sitting around anymore.
She shows up at a TV studio in Manhattan that meets with a producer from a competing network that pitches her own docu-series. One of truth, not control. One where the women share their stories. Unedited.
No scripts.
Undefined.
No manipulation. No handlers.
Just reality.
Reality.
And before she signs anything, she turns to the camera, looks straight into the lens, and says, "Let's begin again." Undefined. But this time on my terms. Now it's your turn. Do you think Meri should do her own show? Undefined. Do you believe TLC should be held accountable? Undefined. What surprised you most in this courtroom saga? Undefined. Drop your thoughts in the comments because this story isn't just fiction anymore. Don't forget to like this video and hit that subscribe button and join our YouTube family. Thank you for your support. New videos are coming very soon.